Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Natea and this is Aesthetics, where I talk about topics that I care about and you should care about too if you choose. Today we are doing a no spoiler review of The Woman King, sharing my thoughts about the movie and also sharing my thoughts about the impact the movie has on black women, especially dark-skinned black women. So let's get into it. So I went to go see the movie and I actually really liked it. Like, I give the movie a 9 out of 10. I know that some people were, before even seeing the movie, they were judging the movie before they saw it because of the title of the movie, and they were thinking that because of the title, and like people were saying, like, why does it have to be called The Woman King? Why couldn't it be called The Woman Queen? And why do we have to make like black women like kings and be masculine, which I'll get into soon. But if you actually watch the movie, you will understand why the movie is called The Woman King. So I would say don't judge the movie before going to see it. But the movie had a really good storyline. Like, it was intriguing and it was really good pacing. I like a storyline that's not too fast, not too slow. It was really good pacing and it told a really good story, and I really love how everything came together at the end with the main characters. I really love seeing also the warriors and like their sisterhood and their friendship. I love seeing just their bond together in the movie and how that was represented. I also did like the representation of black women in this film. All the black women, all of the cast were just absolutely stunning. The black women and the black men, because the king, John Boyega, yeah, that man is fine. So everybody in this movie was fine, from the men to the women. Everybody was fine. So this movie is very aesthetically pleasing on the eyes in regards to the colors and also the people in the film. And of course, Viola Davis did what she was supposed to do, as she always do. She always bodies every role that she has. Like, when has Viola Davis never bodied a role? Like, when has she never did what she was supposed to do in a role? So I really love Viola Davis in this role, and I feel like it was different for her. It was different for me seeing her in this role, but I really enjoyed it. And also, I love that this movie was directed by a black woman, Gina Prince Bythewood, who directed Love and Basketball and also Beyond the Lights. And she's done other television shows and films, but those are like the two that she's like mostly known for. I really love her work, and I've always loved her work. She wrote and directed Love and Basketball, and that's like one of my favorite movies. I just love what Gina did with that movie, and I love what she does with every film or project that she does. And I know people are criticizing the movie because they're saying that a lot of the producers and the writers were white women, which is true, but this was directed by a black woman. I love seeing black women in non-acting film roles, such as directing, costume design, cinematography, editing, because we don't see a lot of black women in those roles, and more black women deserve to be in those roles. I also like how this film tugs at all of your emotions. So some parts of the film are funny, some parts of the film are emotional and sad, some parts of the film are very happy. I like how this film didn't just have like one tone. Like, the film really tugs at multiple emotions. And also, and lastly, I like that this film covered like the history of the slave trade with the Dahomey Kingdom. I thought it was really interesting seeing how African kingdoms handled slavery, and like, I didn't know a lot of that history, and I don't know how historically accurate the movie is, but I know it is some type of historical representation of the Dahomey Kingdom. And I really like how they portrayed how the Dahomey Kingdom went about slavery. Like, some people were for slavery and some people were against it, and that was a theme throughout the film. Like, we got to see how that all played out, and it's just interesting to know and to see that African kingdoms, some people were for slavery, and how they were for slavery because in selling their own people so that their kingdom could thrive, so that they could get money. Like, it's just so interesting knowing that history. And like, yeah, we've always heard like Africans so Africans, blah blah whatever, and white people sometimes try to use that excuse for slavery, saying like, oh, y'all try to blame us for slavery, but Africans so Africans. Yeah, but we knew that Africans sold Africans, but actually to get more in depth about the history and like why Africans sold Africans and their perspectives. And of course, this is just one movie, one representation of one African kingdom. So there could be different historical interpretations of why African kingdoms decided to be involved in the slave trade. But I really like that history, and I love learning history. So for me, that was really like nice to learn in this film. Now I want to get into how the movie negatively impacts the image of black women, especially dark-skinned black women. So I remember before the movie came out, there was this one YouTuber, her name is Chrissy, and she's very well known for talking about like black women representation and corrective representation for black women. She made a YouTube video talking about how the optics of this film impacts the image of black women. And I highly recommend watching the video or listening to it when you can, and I will link it in the description box. And going in, if you do listen to it with an open mind. I listened to the video, and I learned about how this film impacts the image of black women, because black women are already seen, especially dark-skinned black women, are already seen as masculine in society. And even though this film is great, it does not take away from the fact that this film is still going to impact how society views black women as masculine, as strong black women, as women who are superheroes, women who do not need saving. And then we also have like black children, dark-skinned black children, as we've seen in the past, and black women, both on the front lines as the main people who are fighting for social justice issues, especially fighting for like the advocating for black men. So it kind of, this movie, even though it is great, it does reinforce the idea that black women are superheroes, or dark-skinned black women are saviors and things like that. And it doesn't take away from the fact that the movie is great, but also it does mean that this movie has an impact, a negative impact on the image of dark-skinned black women. And also, like, I saw a comment on social media about how with white women and Wonder Woman, how that doesn't impact the image of white women in the way that the Warrior King impacts the image of black women. I agree that in Wonder Woman, like the way that they dress Wonder Woman and the rest of the people who are fighting with her, I agree that Wonder Woman does look more feminine. But then at the same time, it's like if you were to put that same outfit that Wonder Woman has on on the people who are in the Woman King, would you view them as feminine then? And it's also like, it kind of, to me, it reinforces that feminine is related to light skin or white skin and long straight hair. Because I feel like society, even if we were to put the same outfit that Wonder Woman has on and straighten their hair, people still wouldn't view them as feminine, because I feel like people sometimes automatically just see dark skin as masculine. And it's unfortunate that because of all of these like societal messages over the years and images that people have seen, like this image of dark skinned black women being masculine is just a message that has always been thrown out in the media. So basically, this just makes me question our socialization. Are we automatically socialized to think that dark-skinned black women are masculine no matter what they're wearing, no matter what they're doing, no matter what they have on? Because I think it's unfortunate that dark-skinned women, or black women in general, are looked at as masculine, as strong black women, as superheroes, when we are not that. Like, we are feminine, we are soft, we are not everyone's superheroes. Sometimes we are weak. We are regular people, women with regular emotions. Lastly, I think it's unfortunate that because of colorism, this film does not impact my image as much as it does as a dark-skinned woman's image. And as a non-dark-skinned woman, I can only sympathize with how this film, for the dark-skinned women who do not like this film because of how it makes their image look, because I know there are some women, black women, who do not necessarily agree with the image of this film. So that is all I have for this video. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know if you all saw The Woman King and what you thought about it in the comment section below, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.